All right, everybody. How is everyone doing today? Today is currently Tuesday, and I'm coming on here. Yeah, wait, is it Tuesday? Is it Tuesday? It's Wednesday. All right, so today is currently Wednesday, guys, and I am on here because I wanted to do some quick market structure with you guys, and I just wanted to go over some morning markups for looking for trade setups and going over one of my routines. So the first thing I like to do is I like to identify where the market is going. So I'll use specific time frames depending on the pair because, I also actually I don't know every single pair like the back of my hand, but there are a couple pairs that I am getting to know. And so, for example, U.S. dollar, Swiss franc, and U.S. dollar, Japanese yen have some structure you can use the 15-minute time frame on some pairs. Like for Japanese yen, the 5 minute and the 15 minute because the 1 hour takes forever. So it's all about how well you know these pairs. But basically, the first thing I want to do is I want to mark up my structure. And so I have a high right here, and we want to start from right to left. So we have our current new high that broke this past high right here. And then we just put my structure color so I can see, so you guys can see. All right. So we have that high here on my yellow line. Then we had this, and I'm not marking all that internal structure. I'm marking the structure that's relevant. So meaning the points of structure that's on the outside of the internal structure. Okay, so like this, for example, we had a previous low here. And then before that, we had the lower high that the previous higher high broke. And then after that, and before this point, we had another lower low before this next low that broke the high. But what we're going to do is stop because we have our four pieces of structure. So what I do is I identify four pieces of market structure. So we had a low, a high, a lower low, and a higher high, which is currently now. And so the thing is that I know I'm looking for buy trades, okay? And this is how I do my setup. If you do your setups a different way, that's fine. This is how I do them. But what I do is I take my GAN box tool, and I teach this in the Discord and all that shit and all that. But take your GAN box tool and start with your buying. Start from the low point and then drag your mouse all the way up until the high point and click. And then once you're doing that, you want to take trades below the 0.5 line. And the reason is because when this is our market structure represents trading ranges, and we want to make money and trade within those ranges. So if we are making money off the price going upwards, we want to trade on the lower side of the range, because if you notice, the lower side of the range when you're going upwards is the side that when you start out, it's going to go into most profit versus buying at the top for it to only reverse and you get stopped out, right? Just like if you're pretend this chart represents the cost of an iPhone. Would you rather buy the iPhone now while it's up in price, or wait till it does this? Wait till it comes down, right? You can see what I'm doing. Wait till it comes down. Gets cheaper, maybe does a pullback or something, then comes back down here and gets into the cheaper zones, right? And these zones can be from here. Now that we're in the lower price range, we can find get the fuck off my screen. We can find get the fuck off there. We can find demand zones, okay? So we can find our demand zones that we can look for potential setups like here. And there's a bunch more up there. You'd be surprised how many gaps and fair value gaps, demand zones there, or order blocks are on multiple time frames. You just gotta not be lazy and check out the time frames. And sometimes I will even use these indecision candles as demand zones with the body in the middle and equal sides and equal wicks. Sometimes I'll use those as demand zones. I learned that actually from a while ago, but that seems to work too. So these are my zones, okay? So these are my points of interest, areas that I'm looking to take trades. And I'm interested in these areas, and what I'm expecting is from price to come down to my zones, or my fair value gaps, my order blocks, my demand zones, and I'm expecting a reaction from these zones. So what I want to see before I actually enter off these zones, because these are only my points of interest, not my points of entry. I want to enter here, but we want to see if this actually works. So I have a confirmation method that I use, which involves it coming down here, Then, for example, it comes down to this last one. I want to see a reaction coming off of that. Okay, and so that reaction has to be an aggressive price action. So if we had a previous high here, if you see that, I'll make it a different color. You see that little red line? That, pretend that's a piece of structure that formed, okay? So after seeing it break structure after reacting to my zone with unhealthy price action, going upwards and aggressive movement, like for example, we would want to see a large white candle because my candles are black and white, and I leave them black and white for the contrast of buying and selling. And so you see like these giant white candles, I would want to see that reacting off of my last zone here that breaks this red line. Okay, and once I would do that, guys, I would take my my tool out, my Fibonacci tool, not my Fibonacci, I'm sorry, my trade tool here, and I'm like, okay, now that it broke structure, it formed a new range, okay? And so now I can look for gaps and demand setups within this structure, and then take take trades there, but it's acting like an asshole. So I have to fucking get the box and draw it up. So then I can take trades there. And this is only after we saw a breaker structure. But okay, guys, that's just a little quick video on structure and what I do to identify trade setups. And if you want to know more information and want to connect with me, message me. I do have a group, guys. I don't reveal everything on here, but I like to give a lot of free value because I didn't have anyone that helped me out. But yeah, guys, just message me if you have any questions. And if you want to show me your charts too, that is cool.